Exonation Peter Davenport is our special guest this hour. He is the director of the National UFO Reporting Center. Once again, their website is www.ufocenter.com. And the UFO Reporting Hotline, area code 206-722-3000. That's area code 206-722-3000. Peter, you and I were talking off air about a fireball going back to August of 1995.
Oh, yes. I remember that night like I remember last night, Rob. A very, very interesting sighting up near, I think it was about over London, Ontario. Mm-hmm. It was midway between Windsor and Hamilton, and this is one of the rare circumstances in which the object of interest that caused a dramatic reaction among witnesses on the ground was captured by a television news team. I suspect you know the story quite well. When we were talking about it, you recognized it instantly, of course. What many of the people up in Canada don't know is that fireball that was going generally to the southeast apparently passed over Lake Erie, and it slashed down across the western end of Pennsylvania, and it came to a dead stop. And I have a number of witnesses. People can read about this case. They can read some of the reports that we have on file on our database. I remember the date quite clearly. It was a Friday morning. It was 40 minutes past midnight, East Coast time, on the 25th of August, 1995. The interesting thing is that people in Ohio and Pennsylvania saw this object, and it changed shape, it changed color, and in the vicinity of Breezewood, Pennsylvania, which is right on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, the object was seen by a professional race car driver to stop above an empty valley that he was driving through at the time, and it strobed, and it was, again, at this point, stationary on the south side of the Pennsylvania Turnpike. It strobed, and it illuminated the entire valley that he was in 6 times sequentially. It was a very dramatic case. Interestingly, Channel 4 out of Windsor, I believe it was, aired that tape but once, and they have refused to allow anybody else to use that tape. Even Peter Jennings, when we did a piece with Peter Jennings back in 2004, it's my understanding that station refused, which had been acquired by that point, refused to allow that footage to be used by ABC News. Similar case from Grand Falls, New Brunswick on the 19th of September, this month, just last Sunday night. And I will get those reports to you as soon as we receive them. But that case back in 1995, again, August 25th, Friday morning, was one of the most dramatic cases that I have ever handled. And I will leave our listeners, Rob, with the final note. I have substantial reason to believe that object that slashed down across Ontario, Lake Erie, and Pennsylvania lifted a car off the Pennsylvania Turnpike and returned it about an hour and 40 minutes later.
Peter, we've run out of time for tonight, my friend, but you're going to come back in the very near future. Peter, thank you very much for joining us. Always a great pleasure talking to you, and take care of yourself, and thanks for your great work.
My gratitude to you, Rob. Thanks for covering this very important field. It's always delightful to be here.
Take care, my friend. Peter Davenport has been our guest this hour. He is the director of the National UFO Reporting Center, www.ufocenter.com. Well, that's it for tonight, Exo Nation. I'll be back tomorrow night at 10, and once again, we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the Exxon. So until then, keep your eyes to the sky and your heart to the light.